Going into that fight, did you think a win as devastating as you got would have given you everything that you've got since then?
Sorry, one more time, the last one.
Do you think that, did you have it in your head that if you beat him as badly as you did beat him, that things would blow up like they have?
I absolutely think after that fight and during the fight that if I beat him, I will get the golden ticket to the UFC. For sure, and that's a big motivation for taking the fight in the first place. It's a big risk, high reward fight, kind of like the guy I'm fighting now.
Is there any sort of pressure on you coming back, after stepping away from the sport? This guy's built a bit of a name for himself in Europe with the victory over Palhares. People are talking about that, but do you feel that you're ready to just step back into the spotlight and kind of get that win behind you that you had before you stepped out the first time?
I think so. I'm definitely ready to get back in the spotlight and to really showcase my skills every time I fight. And Emil's a great opponent to do that. And he's got a great name. He's really explosive and powerful and athletic, and it's going to be a good challenge for me.
And then let's just say a best case scenario, 12 months down the line from here, where do you foresee yourself having come back in? Because I'm getting the vibe that you have made some changes into your training and into the teammates and training partners that you have. So does this mean we're going to see maybe not as active as we had seen you before, or as active when you hear guys that are now cutting out sparring or reducing the amount of sparring that they're doing outside of fights, which enables them to be able to fight more often?
Yeah, I think I'd like to be a little bit more active, actually. When I was fighting before I retired, I didn't fight. I was fighting actually as much as I wanted to then, but now I think I want to step it up a little bit more. But we got to play it by ear. If you have injuries, if whatever happens. But I would like to be a little bit more active.
I understand it. Who is me, and people around that is not training with me every day doesn't know what I'm capable of doing. And like I said in the winner interview, that now I finally got to show everybody how good I am. So it felt really good to prove everybody wrong.
How disappointed were you when your first debut fell apart, and do you think it worked out better now that you're making your debut in Toronto instead?
Yeah, of course, it was devastating to not get the fight, and mostly because of all the fans that bought tickets to the show, and there were so many Norwegians coming over in my Valhalla army, and just we were so many people, and the UFC actually wrote me and told me that they as they announced my fight, they felt an increase in the ticket sale during that day. So to not go there and let everybody down like that was the hardest part. But then again, now I got the main card debut, so I can't complain about that either.
Well, I think burnout is if you're not training properly. Our gym has definitely been known for really going hard in sparring, and that does, that takes a toll on you. You're sparring every single day, and you're going hard, and you're taking hits to the head and to the legs and to the body. That's going to add up. But mentally, I think it was just a state of mind that I was in, and it took a little time to process all of that. And once I had, feeling better emotionally, physically, and everything. So now I'm here. I'm ready to compete.
The academy that you train in, Frontline Academy, has a tremendous success in jiu-jitsu in Europe. It's known as easily one of the best competition teams. Do you feel like you're the guy that's going to show the MMA side of that gym to the world?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Frontline got a good, solid group of fighters. We got also we just starting to show how good we are in the MMA part, and we got Jack Hermansson that also in the UFC now, and we got several fighters that coming up now, and we're gonna be a good group of guys in the UFC from Frontline. I'm sure of that.
Do you feel that in the guys in your gym, or maybe young up-and-comers, that you're a good role model, maybe not to throw yourself into competition so soon, not to be fighting as much as possible? Or would you, if you could go back in time, would you do everything the exact same way? A guy who's only 25, 26 years old has a ridiculous amount of pro fights under his belt.
Yeah, that's the thing. What's the right way of doing it? Is it to fight guys that don't have that much experience, and then you're undefeated, and you come here and then you have to fight, really solid competition? And are you ready for that? If you are, then that's great. Then you have a great record. Is it to fight, like I was 6 times a year, every other freaking weekend, basically? And what's the right way? I would say for your body and mentally to probably fight less. But the way I've done it, I've loved it. The experiences I've had and the many times I've fought, and just the confidence that I get from that, I think is a huge benefit.
Yeah, Eduardo Orteta is a very good coach to have, and he's always got energy, and he's always hungry to make us perform. And to have a guy like that in your team is very important. And I think that everybody in the Frontline Academy is having the same mindset that you just need to work hard and go in there and win.
Just two quick things. When Gunnar Nelson burst onto the scene in Iceland, he became a cult figure there very quickly. The Swedish mixed martial arts team had very good success in Prague last week. Do you think it's going to happen in Norway? Do you think you're going to be the guy that's going to explode the sport, explode the popularity? You could be the figurehead for Norwegian mixed martial arts?
Yeah, I absolutely hope so. That's my main goal, and to get everybody in Norway to know what MMA is and know that we have good fighters there and be the guy